Hello students, welcome to Don Bosco PU College online classes. We are trying our best to make teaching learning experience easy to our students. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss any update.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the next video of question paper solving. In our previous videos we have solved 46 questions. In this video we are going to start 47th question. See the 47th question in your question paper. Derive the equation of a line in space passing through two given points both in vector and Cartesian form. It is the question belongs to three-dimensional geometry. We have to derive the equation of a line passing through two given points both in vector and Cartesian form. Right? Now draw the figure. Let us consider three-dimensional plane x, y, z. It is origin. Let L be a line. It is a line L. Let L be a line passing through two points A, B. Let L be a line passing through two points A and B with respect to its position vector. With respect to its position vector is A vector. Next, the position vector of the point B with respect to its position vector is B vector. Next, let P be any point on the plane. Let P be any point on the line whose position vector is R vector. Since you have to write an explanation regarding this diagram, otherwise you are going to lose 1 mark. So explanation will be like this. Just observe. Let L be a line passing through two points A, x1, y1, z1, B coordinates x2, y2, z2, and let P be any point on the line. These coordinates will be x, y, z. The position vectors of the points A, B and P is given by OA vector equals to A vector, OB vector is B vector. Next, OP vector is R vector. Hence, it is a explanation regarding this diagram. You just observe, since the points A, B and P are collinear. If you observe, these points A, B and P are collinear because three points are lying in the same line. Since A, B and P are collinear, these points are collinear. Now you have to remember the concept of vectors. We have studied vectors. If A, B, C are collinear, if A, B, C vectors are collinear, then what is the condition? For collinear vectors and for parallel vectors, we have the same condition we have learned in our vector algebra. A vector, B vector, C vector are collinear. Not A, B, C, it is A, B. If A vector and B vector are collinear, then A vector equals to lambda times of B vector. Okay. Similarly, let us apply this condition here. AP vector equals to lambda times of AB vector. AP vector equals to lambda times of AB vector. AP vector equals to lambda times of AB vector, because A, B and P are collinear. Now where lambda is a scalar, here we have lambda, where lambda is a scalar or any real number. Now AP vector, write this AP vector in the form of position vector. OP vector minus OA vector, OP vector minus OA vector equals to lambda into, similarly write AB vector in the form of, with respect to its position vector, OB vector minus OA vector. Now replace OP vector, OA vector and OB vector with its A vector, B vector and R vector. So OP vector is R vector, OA vector is A vector equals to lambda into B vector minus A vector. Now send this minus A vector to the right side, then we will get R vector equals to A vector plus lambda into B minus A vector, where lambda is a scalar, hence it is a vector form, which is a required vector form of a equation of a line passing through two given points. Call this as equation star. Vector form is over. Now we have to find Cartesian form, which is a vector form. Now find Cartesian form. Cartesian form is nothing but we have to eliminate vector components. In the equation star we have vectors are A vector, B vector and A vector and R vector we have, right? So now in the Cartesian form we have to eliminate these vectors. First see the R vector. R vector is R vector. Next see the vector A vector. Next B vector. You just observe the diagram for R vector. For R vector is nothing but P be any point on the line. Those coordinates will be x, y, z. This R vector we will take xi plus yj plus zk. A vector, a line passing through a point A. So this A vector will be x1, y1, z1. x1i plus y1j plus z1k. Next to B vector. B vector is nothing but a line passing through the another point. Those coordinates will be x2, y2, z2. Let us take in the vector form x2i plus y2j plus z2k. We have to substitute these vectors in this equation star. After that we have to simplify up to the vector form eliminates. For to substitute in these vectors in the equation star, we need b minus a vector, b vector minus a vector. So that first find out b vector minus a vector. B minus a, x2 minus x1 I plus y2 minus y1 j plus z2 minus z1 k. It is a b minus a vector. Now substitute all these vectors in this equation star. From equation star we have, in the left hand side we have r vector. R vector is what? xi plus yj plus zk equals to a vector. A vector is what? x1, y1, z1. x1i plus y1j plus z1k plus Next, b minus a. b minus a is here. Substitute x2 minus x1 lambda into x2 minus x1 I plus y2 minus y1 j plus z2 minus z1 k. Okay, now take this vector to the left. Take this vector to the left. Then what will happens? Take this x1i plus y1j plus z1k to the left. Then we will get x minus x1i plus yj plus zk minus x1i minus y1j minus z1k equals to, also multiply this lambda inside the brackets. Then lambda into x2 minus x1i plus lambda into y2 minus y1j plus lambda into z2 minus z1k. Now in this, separate I, j, k components. xi minus x1i, take I cap is common, x minus x1i plus next y minus y1j plus z minus z1k, which is equals to, now write lambda into x2 minus x1 I plus lambda into y2 minus y1 j plus lambda into z2 minus z1 k. By using the equal vectors, we are going to equate these vectors. I components are equal, j components are equal, now k components are equal. Let us equate I, j, k. Comparing I, j, k. Comparing I, j, k, then we will get x minus x1 equals to lambda into x2 minus x1. X minus x1 equals to lambda into x2 minus x1. Next, compare j. Y minus y1 equals to y2 minus y1. Y minus y1 equals to lambda into y2 minus y1. Similarly, equate k components. Z minus z1 equals to z2 minus z1. Lambda into z2 minus z1. Okay, now take this x2 minus x1 to the left. Then we will get x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1 equals to lambda. Similarly, take this y2 minus y1 to the left. Then that divides y minus y1 by y2 minus y1 equals to lambda. Similarly, z minus z1 by z2 minus z1 equals to lambda. Therefore, all these ratios are equals to the value of lambda. Hence we can conclude that x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is equals to y minus y1 divided by y2 minus y1 equals to z minus z1 divided by z2 minus z1. Therefore, all these ratios are equal. Hence, which is a required equation of a line passing through two given points in a Cartesian form. Write the conclusion, which is a Cartesian form. Okay, are you understand? Hence, it is a proof for this derivation. Now we will move on to the next question, 48th question. That question is belongs to probability. You just read that question twice or thrice. Read that question. Probability of solving specific problem independently by A and B are 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 respectively. If both try to solve the problem independently, find the probability that the problem independently find the probability that first sub question problem is solved, second sub question exactly one of them solve the problem, hence which is a given question. So for this question, first write down the given things. So given that what he is given, probability of solving specific problem independently by A and B are 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. Probability of solving specific problem, probability of A is 1 by 2 and probability of B is 1 by 3. If both is nothing but intersection, if both try to solve the problem independently, so independent condition is what? P of A intersection B equals to P of A into P of B, P of A into P of B, because A and B are independent events. Now P of A intersection B equals to P of A is what? 1 by 2 into P of B is what? 1 by 3. Therefore P of A intersection B equals to 1 divided by 2 into 3 is 6. Now we found P of A intersection B. Now see the first question. The problem is solved. See the first question. The problem is solved. First sub question. The problem is solved. That means we need to find P of A union B. So P of A union B, by the probability of addition theorem, we can write it as P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. That is equals to P of A is what? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6. Therefore LCM of 2, 3, 6 is what? LCM of 2, 3, 6 is 6 only. 1 by 2 into 6 is 3 plus 1 by 3 into 6 is 2 minus 1. 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 by 6. If we cancel, we will get 2 by 3. Probability of solving the problem is solved is 2 by 3. Next we will have second sub question, that one of them solves the problem. Let us solve the second sub question. Second sub question is probability of exactly one of them solves the problem. This will be like, that is equals to probability of A alone solves the problem B dash plus P of B alone solves the problem. In the first case A solves the problem, not B. In the second case B solves the problem, not A. That is equals to, now P of A intersection B, P of A intersection B dash, we have some formulas in our first PU, that P of A intersection B can be written as P of A minus P of A intersection B. Similarly, P of B intersection A dash can also be written as P of B minus P of B intersection A. Let us apply these properties here. What we will get? P of A minus P of A intersection B plus P of B minus P of B intersection A. So P of A intersection B and P of B intersection A both are equal. That is equals to P of A plus P of B. So minus 2 times of P of A intersection B. Now apply the values here. So P of A is given 1 by 2. P of B is given 1 by 3. Minus 2 into P of A intersection B is 1 by 6. 2 ones are 2 threes are. That is equals to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3, it will get cancelled. Finally, we will get 1 by 2. Hence, which is the required probability of exactly one of them solves the problem. Hence, these are the questions, 5 marks questions. Hence, we have finished 5 marks questions. Now let us move on to 10 marks question. See the 49th question in your question paper. 49th question A. Prove that integration of minus a to a f of x dx equals to 2 times of integration of 0 to a f of x if f of x is even, 0 if f of x is odd. So let us prove. First thing we have to consider integration of minus a to a f of x dx by using the properties equals to, this can be written as integration of minus a to 0 f of x dx plus integration of 0 to a f of x dx. Call this as equation number 1. Now here we have just applied the property integration of a to b f of x dx equals to integration of a to c f of x dx plus integration of c to b f of x dx. If again let us consider integration of this part. Let us take this. Again we will consider integration of minus a to 0 f of x dx. Let us take the substitutions. Put x equals to minus t. In this integration, put x equals to minus t. If x equals to minus t, then dx equals to minus dt. Now, limits is also changes. If x equals to minus a, then t equals to what? X equals to minus t, then t equals to minus x. So minus of minus a. Therefore, t equals to a. Next, if x equals to 0, then t equals to what? T equals to minus x. If x equals to minus t or t equals to minus x, like this. So minus 0, which means t equals to 0. If x equals to minus a, then t equals to plus a. If x equals to 0, then t is also 0. Apply these limits in this integration. Therefore, integration of minus a to 0 f of x dx equals to integration of, if x is minus a, then t value is a. If x is 0, then t is 0. Now f of x is what? F of x is what? X we have taken the substitution minus t into dt. So minus dt. Next we have to apply the property integration of a to b f of x dx equals to integration of a to b f of t dt. Here we are going to apply one more property that is equals to integration of, here minus we have, let us change, integration of 0 to a f of minus t into dt. Okay, since integration of a to b f of x dx equals to minus of integration of b to a f of x dx. This property we have used. It is what? Integration of minus a to 0 f of x into dx. Next again, that is equals to integration of 0 to a. Let us apply one more property. Since integration of a to b f of x dx is also equals to integration of a to b f of t dt. By using this, let us apply the property integration of 0 to a f of minus x dx. It is what? Integration of minus a to 0 f of x into dx. Now let us substitute this integration in the first equation from equation 1. From equation 1 we have, you just see the starting step of this proof. We have considered that integration of minus a to a f of x dx equals to integration of minus a to 0 we have taken. In place of minus a to 0, let us apply this one. So integration of 0 to a f of minus x dx plus integration of 0 to a f of x dx. Let us call this equation as 2, equation number 2. Suppose again if f of x equals to, if f of minus x equals to plus x, then equation 2, let us put f of minus x equals to f of x, then what we will get? See the equation 2 again, integration of minus a to a f of x dx equals to integration of 0 to a f of minus x is plus x, so f of x into dx plus integration of 0 to a f of x into dx. Let us add these two integrations, then what we will get? 2 times of integration of 0 to a f of x into dx. Therefore it is integration of minus a to a f of x into dx. When if f of x is even, when f of x is even, when this will happens, it is even, f of x is even. It is the first case proof. It is the proof for first case. Okay, next what about the second case? Again, if f of minus x equals to minus f of x, then equation 2 becomes, it is also equation 2 becomes. See the equation number 2, let us put in place of f of minus x with minus f of x, then what will happens? From equation from equation 2, since therefore minus integration of minus a to a f of x dx equals to integration of 0 to a, in place of f of minus x, in place of f of minus x I am putting minus f of x, so it will be minus f of x into dx plus integration of 0 to a f of x dx. Hence it is minus of integration, it is minus integration of 0 to a f of x dx plus integration of 0 to a f of x dx. If you observe, the integration of these values will get cancelled. Finally we will get 0 equals to 0. So therefore integration of minus a to a f of x dx equals to 0. When it will be 0? If f of x is odd. If f of x is odd. Hence it is a proof for this property. Better you just choose LPP for this part. LPP is easy for you. You just prefer LPP, linear programming problem. That will be very easy compared to these properties of integration. Okay, dear students, hence we have solved 49 questions in this video. In the next class we will solve the remaining questions. Thank you.